Headphone music. No matter how basic or normal your music taste is, we all got some of those artists or songs that you just do not play aloud in any circumstance. Unless you're one of those people that just carry around a speaker and play your music aloud in public places, which in that case, that's pretty strange, and I don't know what to say to you. You're not going to relate to this video, and that's kind of weird. You're a little weird. But for the vast majority of people, you have at least a couple things that you listen to exclusively within the confines of your headphones and your ears. That doesn't mean it's necessarily bad or even a guilty pleasure. It's just either something that's a little weirder than normal or maybe just out of character for you compared to everything else you listen to.
Tell us about an artist we wouldn't expect you would listen to.
Listening to dog relaxing music, like the ones that go for like 3 hours.
Thank you.
Separation anxiety.
So if someone were to catch you listening to this, it might take a little more explanation to properly explain why you're listening to it. And you just don't want to do that. I'm a big fan of Carly Rae Jepsen. I know. And while I think she's a fantastic pop artist and deserves way more attention than she gets, I do tend to only listen to her on headphones, because when you look as masculine and ripped as I do, no one really expects you to be listening to some girly bubblegum pop like Carly Rae Jepsen. It's sad, really. And it might be a little more common for people like me that go out of their way to search for new music and weirder stuff, compared to some people that don't really venture far off of the yellow Spotify road. And while that might sound like a bad thing, I'm kind of jealous. I would give anything to be able to confidently put whatever I want to actually listen to on the aux, and that be publicly accepted by anyone around me. I've got some people in my life that I can do that with, but not everyone. And that would honestly be the perfect world, in my opinion. But I do listen to a lot of what I consider headphone music. So at this point in my life, I have my normal playlists, and then I have my safe play in front of other people playlists. And I've definitely found that the more you listen to headphone music, the more desensitized you get to it and kind of forget the social norms of what you should be playing around people. It's like being super into horror movies, watching more and more graphic ones, and then showing someone your favorite and being like, nah, it's not bad. It's nothing. It's basically a kid movie. There's no scares, no gore, there's nothing.
Okay, fine, put it on.
Yeah, it's pretty rough out here. Like, at this point, my headphone meter is pretty much broken. I'll play some stuff in the car and be like, yo, doesn't this go crazy? And you would think I killed someone. You'd think I did something heinous, the way people react sometimes. Like, come on, it's not that weird. I was honestly hesitant to make this video because I was like, well, what if I have it completely backwards and nobody relates to the examples I give? And then I went, no, Jacob, this is your channel. You can do whatever you want. Even give yourself a little monologue pep talk in the middle of your video. Anyway, these days with stupid terms like coworker music out there, where people are actively made fun of for what they listen to out loud and choose to share with other people, I'd say coworker music is stuff like Taylor Swift, Drake, Katy Perry, and The Weeknd. By no means bad artists, but ones that are very mainstream and easy to digest. When I hear that, I just assume people mean artists like Meghan Trainor, Miley Cyrus, and Imagine Dragons. It's a scary time to be playing your music out loud. That's why I stay to my safe playlist with carefully curated songs that any human can enjoy. I don't have a sponsor, so let's all pretend that Guayaki sponsored me, and maybe they'll do it. As far as examples of headphone music, I think the biggest staple is Death Grips.
First time I heard them, they challenged me in so many ways. I was like, what do I do with this? And then I was like, oh, I've become a better version of myself by listening to this. And what exactly is going on? Who knows? They know. They know. Yeah, they might be a pretty big band and have some decently normal sounding stuff, but tell me, in what situation are you going to be blasting this out loud? Maybe the Anthony Fantano fan club, but other than that,
Where? Unless you're completely surrounded by Death Grips fans all the time, in which case it's probably pretty smelly, then you're most likely listening to them on headphones all the time. I don't listen to them a ton anymore, but when I did, I assure you, I was not listening to that stuff out loud. When I found them, I even felt weird listening to it in my headphones. I had a job sign twirling for a pizza place at the time, and one day I think I listened to their whole discography while I was twirling, and nowadays I would feel a little more confident in that, but little tiny high school me, I was scared. I thought someone would take my headphones out, hear what I'm listening to, and bully me. Luckily, that never happened. You know who I wouldn't be bullied for listening to? JPEG JPEG Mafia is a great example of an artist that kind of teeters the line of being headphone music, where it's a 50-50 gamble when you put on one of his songs, whether the vibe goes even crazier or it's ruined. And at this point in his career, I think he's deliberately trying to blur the line a little. His album Scaring the Hose with Danny Brown was something that definitely should have been headphone music because it's so jarring and out there production-wise. I mean, it's literally called Scaring the Hose.
But Khalil, you're going to scare the hose. I don't care. Play the JPEG Mafia Danny Brown collab tape again.
They're warning you that if you play it out loud, it will scare people. But I almost feel like it took two more out there artists coming together to make something that's still out there and experimental, but also accessible and catchy enough that it kind of breaks through to the mainstream and becomes a little more publicly accepted.
Stop scaring the hoes. Play that shit out and cut their toes. We don't really hear that shit no more. But the piece that give me the balls cool.
But even though my two examples have been experimental music, not all headphone music is experimental. Everyone's headphone music is different. You might be the most joyous, bubbly individual and secretly love black metal, but if you played it around your incredibly religious and stuck-up family, you might get burned at the stake. Or you might be one of those people that just casually listen to Hamilton, and I mean, in that case, you should maybe just seek help. But my headphone music has been all sorts of genres. When I was in middle school, I couldn't listen to music with cursing in it, and there was one Skrillex song that was marked as explicit, so it was off the table. But I loved Skrillex, man. Skrillex was my everything. So Skrillex became my headphone music. And I listened to that shit all the time. I mean, what I meant to say is that I listened to my mom, and I never listened to it. Now, what was the point of this video? I don't know. I saw someone use the term, and I thought it was kind of interesting, okay? It's not that deep. But I do like to end videos with a somewhat positive message. Yeah, I'm sappy like that. I like feeling like I'm doing a little tiny bit of good in the world. But if you got some kind of headphone music that you're totally afraid to play out loud, play it on full blast. For me, if someone complains, tell them I told you to. Show them this video. Actually link them this video and tell them to subscribe too. Tell them to like it, maybe join my Patreon, buy some merch, I don't know. Anyway, that's the video. Thanks for watching. Goodbye.